The world's largest electric vehicle is a 110-ton dump truck in Biel, Switzerland. It never has to be recharged, even by solar panels. How is that possible? I'll say that one more time. The world's largest electric vehicle is a 110-ton dump truck in Biel, Switzerland. It never has to be recharged, even by solar panels. How is that possible?
Because Switzerland's so small, it just doesn't have to go anywhere, so it's fine. It's fine where it is.
Because it's powered by hamsters running around in a wheel.
Is it just always connected to the grid?
Like a really long power cable?
Because you know how some, like, streetcars like, have an antenna that attaches to a power cable. Is this the same thing, except it's a dump truck?
It's a cable dump truck.
I once tried to film this vehicle and was turned down, or just sort of didn't get a reply for them. I did once film a mains-powered ferry that just goes over a small strait, and they just have an enormous cable reel on it, and it's just plugged in at one end. I suspect that this question would be better phrased as the world's largest battery electric vehicle. Because technically a train is an electric vehicle if it's got, like, electrification coming in. So this is the largest battery electric vehicle.
So it must self-charge in some fashion, I guess, if it doesn't need to rely on external sources. Is the weight of what it's carrying around helping to create that charge somehow? Like, you put it on one side of a seesaw, and then when it tips over, it helps create a charge. I don't know.
Not exactly, but you're not a million miles away.
Only 999,000.
Going along with what Francis said, I wonder if the truck itself is carrying something that is, like, generating the power that it needs.
Again, not a million miles away, but you have just described a petrol car there. like technically not wrong, but also that definition does just include gasoline vehicles.
So, I mean, obviously, it's not a perpetual motion machine, so it's not just...
Yeah, I think we would have heard about if this, like, broke all the laws of physics.
Mm-hmm. Sam, I don't want to be too rude about that idea. Like, you're not entirely wrong.
But what other ways can you charge a battery? Does it just carry batteries? Is it a dump truck that all it does is carry batteries, so each time it gets a new battery because it's just got to get a new battery? It's just transporting batteries, and they plug one of them in.
It is transporting something. I know that sounds obvious from dump truck, but yeah, you're right. It's transporting something. Not fuel, though.
Is it transporting windmills?
Yeah, I mean, is there some kind of waste product that gets transported that can also be used as a type of fuel or as something that could help charge a battery?
Now you're getting closer. What terrain is Switzerland famous for?
Didn't they film The Sound of Music there? So it's known for the field where they filmed The Sound of Music.
What might have been in the yes? What might have been in the background of that shot? Really, the hills are alive and the mountains behind them.
So hills.
Does it just build up a charge on the downhill sides? It just coasts, and the wheels create some energy.
Yes, there's a key bit you haven't got from there. Because that would be perpetual motion, right? If it's just
yeah.
There's got to be some losses in the system somewhere.
Is it some material that, when it gets jostled about, it creates electricity?
Again, when you look back on this question, you'll be like, "Oh, that's almost true," but no, the material is just ore. It's just crushed up rocks.
But metal rocks can spark when they hit each other, I suppose.
Creating little fires in the back.
Just got nothing but flint in there.
Francis, when you were talking about building up charge on the way down, what were you meaning there?
What I was meaning was a very loose understanding of how anything works electrically, because I'm a very frivolous person and I don't understand engineering or physics. So, I was just thinking of, like a turbine, doing whatever it is turbines do, or
has anyone here
like
driven electric cars?
I don't have a car. Maybe I should mention that.
I don't drive, period. I don't have a driver's
Yeah, you're talking
license.
to three
All right.
non-drivers, apparently.
I live in New York City, and that's why.
All right, so the term you're looking for, Francis, is regenerative braking. When someone brakes an electric car, that can send power back to the battery. It can pull power out of the wheels, not by friction, but by pulling power.
Okay.
So you can charge a battery going downhill, but obviously you then
You aren't going to end up with more than you started with.
No, you're not.
Certainly. You can just extend your battery life.
unless something about where this is used.
Does this have something to do with sea levels? I feel like all of these questions have to do with the altitude.
Yeah, altitude's a good keyword here. Not overall, but in terms of what the truck's doing.
So, is this something that would only work in Switzerland?
Or on that kind of terrain?
Would it only work at a high altitude?
Not about the altitude itself, more about the altitude difference. And Sam, you were quite close there. Have a think. Look, what might this truck be doing?
Driving.
Braking.
It's a dump truck. What's a duty cycle look like for that?
Well, the back of it is gonna come up to dump whatever is being stored in it. Mm-hmm. And so does that somehow funnel some charge back into the battery at a high altitude?
No, but it's going to change the truck.
Well, it's not going to be as heavy once it's dumped out the stuff that was in it.
It's not.
So then it floats, and then it just drifts slowly down on the breeze, and it leaves the back up as a sort of sail, and and that catches the wind, and it uses that power to. Anyway, well, thanks. That was fun.
This is operating a quarry. Where's it going to be picking up stuff? Where is it going to be dropping it off?
I mean, I assume it's picking things up from the mountains where rocks are and taking them to the bottom of the mountains where they want rocks to go.
Yes.
I don't know why. Just knock them off the edge.
Wait, because if it's heavier coming down and they're braking coming down, they're building up a lot of charge, and then they don't need as much charge when the truck is lighter to get back up the mountain.
So they're going up light and coming down heavy, so
Yes.
it's easier to go up. And it's enough difference to make it up?
It is more than enough difference, according to the company that makes the vehicle. I have seen a couple of questions about this over the years, but yes, this is a 110-ton dump truck. At the top of the quarry, it's filled with rocks. They then have to brake all the way down the hill. All that energy is being pushed into the battery. It lets the rocks go, and then it's got more than enough charge to head back up the hill and repeat the cycle over and over and over. So it never actually needs charging because the power is coming from the potential energy of the rocks.
It only works down steep hills if you're carrying heavy things.
Yes.
I feel like if there's any listeners out there who know anything about like physics or electric vehicles, that was extremely painful for them to listen to.
We're sorry. We're so thick.
They're like, what's a car?
The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.